Hello everyone. So we talked about in on my other channel about this particularly, but I want to talk about it even more here. Just because I don't think I touch much on Cavan in it. I just kind of talk briefly about it and just kind of give a brief explanation. I think I should probably go into it further here. And that is to do with the two schools in Cavan Town. Being St. Pat's used to be run by the brothers, and of course Loretto College used to be run by the sisters, obviously Catholic schools back in the day, and of course still now. But the problem in Cavan is that there's still your boys only St. Pat's and Loretto is still girls only. And in Cavan there's only two other mixed schools. It used to be a private school, now it's a public school called the Royal. You can both boys and girls used to go to, but usually you had to pay €5,000. Now it's for free. It's belonged to the state. The people own it. And of course, always when I went to secondary school, Breffney College used to be the tech back years ago. But that's boys and girls. And I do take, and this is the thing, when you're in primary school and stuff like that, there's not an all boys and all girls primary school. It's all together. And it's a huge difference, especially nowadays compared to years ago. Now, back obviously 20 years ago, 30 years ago, maybe, it was a different way of looking at it. But nowadays, you go into college, you go into school, primary school, you go from primary school to secondary school, it doesn't make any difference. Like, it makes no difference, basically. I don't believe in the mixed schools, and that's we'll talk about now. Particularly Breffney College, there's nearly 900 students, nearly 1,000 students at Breffney College. It's absolutely mad. But long story short, they have to take pressure off Breffney College because everybody wants to go to. Because I think majority of young people nowadays want to be in a mixed school, and to be totally honest, I agree. And I'm happy that they did go to a mixed school instead of going to St. Pat's, not Loretto. I'm not about a girl. I don't identify as a girl, but what I'm trying to say is better than if I was a girl, it's better than going to the Loretto too. But yeah, that'll be taken out of context. But long story short, I think the days of them are over, to be generally honest, because I don't think it benefits anyone. Because at the end of the day, when you go and get a job or you go to college, etc., there's no mixed workplaces, etc. And I do think it would take a lot of pressure off Breffney College, particularly because there's such a amount of people, and they're talking about building onto Breffney College, even though they built it already. So they want to even build more, like it's insane. So you would have to take the pressure off somehow in that regard. But the thing I say is, I think it's a thing of the past, to be genuinely honest. I do think it is. And that's, to be totally honest, I do think it is just a thing of the past. It should be in the past. It should be left in the past. But I do think the people for Cavan should have a say in this, of course. Should it, say, Pats become, say, for example, a mixed school, or should Loretto become a mixed school? Because at the end of the day, it's up to the people, it's up to the parents who pay their taxes. It's up to them to decide, because these are public schools, they're not owned by the church. Even though the church still technically owns the land that's on, but the state owns it. But it's up to the people of Cavan. I would say we should ask the people of Cavan what they think. Should we give it, or should we keep it, etc. I do think we should ask that question and have a discussion about it, because I do think it's important. Because I don't see any reason why it should be nowadays. There's not really any reason why. Because years ago was to keep the boys away from the girls, and then the girls away from the boys and stuff, of course. But that's going to happen anyway, especially with social media nowadays and stuff. Years ago, maybe not so much, but it's still going to happen nowadays, regardless of what you do. Regardless of what you do. But anyway, let me know what you think. Subscribe for more, and bye.